Hey folks, how's it going? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at the latest CT Toys Bootleg action figure with their knockoff Mafex 185 Comic Spidey. The Mafex Comic Spidey figures are certainly my favourite looking Comic Spidey figures out there, and we've been taking a look at most of the CT Toys Bootleg figures here on the channel, and they have all been crazy quality for the price that you're paying over on AliExpress. They have changed the bootleg game. The original Mafex 185 is one of the only figures that I've had legitimately break on me. It snapped in the right arm, and so when they revealed they were doing a 185 bootleg, of course I was going to have to pick it up. I was going to pick it up regardless of the original being broken or not, but here on the channel I want to compare them to some of the other CT Toys bootlegs that we have, compare them to the original figure, see how well he holds up as a £20 bootleg, actually less than £20, yeah, see how he holds his own, and let's not wait any longer, we'll jump right into it. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Are you guys picking up this latest CT Toys? And let's not wait any longer, let's take a closer look at the packaging here. In terms of the box, this is much more reminiscent of the previous CT Toys bootleg figures, same shape and size as this black suited Mafex bootleg, as opposed to the authentic Mafex figure here. The box is different shape and size, but we do get similarities in the packaging here. We get the Spidey logo up in the top left, 185, 6-inch, and of course the CT Toys logo instead of Mafex. Image of the figure, the Amazing Spider-Man, again CT Toys logo in the bottom right. We can see the figure here, top of the box, and on this side we get a different image, different logo, well, same logo, and yeah, the other side of the box here. And then here we have the back of the packaging. Bringing in the authentic figure, you can see how similar it is with the product images and whatnot, but yeah, overall different shape and size. We get this long web accessory that has the port at the end, and this looks really good, nice web design across it all. We get the two short web whip effects that port around his wrist, and these look pretty good, we can use them later on. Two longer web whip effects, same idea, port around the wrist, and the sculpt's dead similar, done pretty well by CT Toys here I'd say. And lastly on the web effects, we get this longer web whip that will port into his hand here at the end. We get the interchangeable magnetic feet, magnetic wall crawling hands, and okay, I've came across the first error with my CT Toys bootleg figures. I was going to show off the non-magnetic wall crawling hands, but they've actually given me a third magnetic wall crawling hand, so instead of two non-magnetic ones, I've got three magnetic ones and one without the magnet. That is a bit annoying. Wall crawling hands are essential when it comes to Spidey, and I'm only going to have the one without the magnet here. Not the end of the world, but hey, that's what happens when you buy bootlegs. We get the web holding hands, and I'm going to zoom in a wee bit here. I think with all the interchangeable hands, it's pretty noticeable that the paint lines aren't too great here. These ones especially look quite messy with the build up of black just in between the fingers there, as opposed to actually hitting those web lines. So yeah, I would say in terms of the interchangeable hands here, the quality isn't as good as the likes of the Friendly Neighbourhood Spider-Man Tobey Maguire SH Figuarts bootleg, but the sculpt is good, it's just the paint more than anything. We get the Clobbering Time fisted hands, and we get the web whipping hands. We then get the alternative head sculpt. One here is the CT Toys, and one is the original authentic Mafex head sculpt. Let me know down in the comment section what one you think is the original real Mafex, because both of these look insane. And it is the one on the left. The left is the real Mafex head sculpt. This one on the right is the CT Toys bootleg, and it is crazy how accurate that is to the original. They have absolutely nailed this alternative head sculpt. This is my least favourite of the two head sculpts with 185 Spidey, but it is still an awesome looking Spidey head sculpt here. Really the only difference I can tell is the sort of black shaded paint around the eyes here on the original. That seems to be lacking here on the CT Toys version. But is it just me, or do the web lines look a wee bit more crisp on the CT Toys? I don't know. It's crazy how good a job they've done here. The original is definitely a wee bit bigger, and that's something we'll see a bit more when we compare the original to the bootleg later on in the video. But yeah, pretty crazy how good a job they've done here. We then get the figure itself, and this is honestly crazy. The feel of it is probably the nicest feeling CT Toys bootleg. It's got a wee bit of weight to it. The quality in plastic is honestly quite comparable to the authentic Mafex. It feels really nice. All the joints here are fairly stiff. There's nothing too loose. They all move nicely. I think the loosest joint I've seen is this upper bicep on the right, and even then it is not bad at all. This could be the best quality bootleg I've ever held in my hands. I am honestly a bit speechless here. The look of him is just, it's near spot on. There's something in the head sculpt here that I think is noticeable, and probably a good time to bring in the original again. So on the left we've got the authentic Mafex. And yeah, I think the mask on the original is just that wee bit more clean, which you would hope, you know, £20 versus £80. The original better, you know. The lenses do just look a bit better overall. But again, in my review of this real Mafex, I pointed out, like, I've got some QC issues. There's some weird paint going on in the mask here. You can see that a bit around the lenses as well. And that was really annoying, especially when it comes to photographing this picture. This just always stood out for me, this paint smudge here. And then on our bootleg, of course, I don't have that same problem. I do have this wee speck of white on the chin there that I was trying to get off with my nail, and it just doesn't seem to be coming off. But yeah, this is seriously impressive. I do think overall the web lines are a lot cleaner on the original, especially in that body area. Comparing them side by side, the bootleg is slightly more messy, but yeah, I'll take it for £20. This looks really good. Going through the rest of the figure, I think the chest logo looks nice. Again, pretty accurate to the original. I'm going to have to keep bringing this in. I guess again the paint is a wee bit more messy on that chest logo, but the sculpt's there, you can see that. I think the colours are insanely spot on. Like, these look like the exact same shade of red and blue here, so that's really impressive. All the articulation is there. This is so cool. I feel like I need to pick another one of these up. The only thing I really noticed was this black spot on his butt. Again, a slight paint issue, but nothing too bad at all. With the Mafex symbiote bootleg that CT did, I feel like some of the joints in the feet area were quite loose. On this one, these feel really nice. Again, this is maybe the most premium feeling bootleg I've ever held in my hands, and I am absolutely loving it. You get the drop down hips and everything here. Yeah, do I recommend this figure for £20 on AliExpress? 100%. To really show off why CT Toys are a game changer here, we have the original AliExpress Mafex Spider-Man bootleg figure on the right, and this figure spread like wildfire. It is all over eBay, all over AliExpress. It's probably what you're going to come across when you first look up Mafex comic Spider-Man. You know, if you're trying to buy that original figure, you're probably going to come across this thing fairly easily. And we did take a closer look at this figure at the time on the channel, and at the time I did think it was okay, but Yeah, this thing looks horrible. It looks absolutely terrible, and this was the kind of general standard of bootlegs across the board until CT Toys have come along and again changed the game. And then to compare him next to the authentic Mafex action figure here, you can see that of course the original is always going to be better. It looks that more sleek, especially when the torso is coming down into the thigh area. It's a lot more disjointed on the bootleg here. I think that the overall sculpt of it is better, but you obviously have that crazy price difference as well. You see folks saying that they don't pick up the CT Toys because of the scale. It is smaller than the originals, but for the quality that we get here, all the interchangeable parts and accessories, the scale does not bother me in the slightest. This is such a nice figure, even with it being that wee bit smaller. The funny thing that gets me is a lot of folks saying don't buy bootlegs, they break, they fall apart. I do not have one single CT Toys figure that has broke on me yet, and I have posed them a good fair bit and I have not had any problems. The only problems I have had with my action figures are all from import action figures. The original Mafex here snapping at the arm, and most notably is every version 2 Revoltech figure that I get my hands on falls to bits. And so saying that bootlegs break, yeah, but every figure breaks, you know. I don't think that that's a good argument not to pick up these bootlegs, because they might break on you, but so will a £100 figure, you know. It's going to depend on how you handle it, how you're posing it. And again, I wasn't really posing this thing too heavily for the arm to break really at all. So yeah, breakages happen, and it's not something that I've experienced happening with CT Toys. And then here is our CT Toys 185 next to their Mafex Symbiote bootleg. And yeah, both of these are just great quality bootlegs, and I think they scale great with one another. While I had the CT Toys Symbiote bootleg out, I did want to do a head swap here. This is the Peter Parker head sculpt that you get with that Symbiote bootleg, and it looks absolutely awesome on this CT Toys 185. I think it works really well, it pops on nicely, and yeah, you can't really ask for much more, because of course we don't get a Peter Parker head sculpt with the Mafex 185, we got a Peter Parker head sculpt with the original Mafex comic Spidey, and so if you were wanting a Peter Parker head sculpt for this version of CT Toys Spider-Man, I would say that this is probably your best bet. And then here he is next to our CT Toys SH Figuarts Toby and Andrew knockoff action figures. Here's our CT Toys 185 next to our Marvel Legends AF15 body molds. Here is next to our latest Sunfire body mold Spidey and our Superior Spider-Man from Marvel Legends. Retro and Renew Your Vows. And for a couple of villains, we've got our new retro carded Venom and retro carded Sandman, and he is looking pretty small here. And so there we have it for our latest CT Toys bootleg action figure, and it is another top contender for the best CT Toys bootleg. I feel like they just keep improving with every figure that they release. Again, this just feels great quality straight out the box. The plastic feels really nice. All the joints are as stiff as you would want them to be, nothing really loose here. It's extremely posable, the articulation matching the original pretty faithfully. I would say the paint is absolutely 100% the same as that authentic Mafex 185, and so again, for the price point, I don't know why you wouldn't pick this up. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. While you're down there guys, if you could do me a massive favour and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, then please hit that subscribe button. I'll leave the link to my Instagram down in the description below, where I'll definitely be posting a lot of pictures of this bootleg up over there, because again, with my original authentic one being broken at the arm, I don't really want to break that any more than I need to. So if I want to pose this style of character around a lot more dynamically or whatever, I'll probably pick up this CT Toys version, because if I break it, I'm not wasting as much money. Yeah, please feel free to hop on over to the Instagram page, feel free to hop on over to the YouTube channel page and check out any of my other videos. As I said, we've taken a look at most of the CT Toys bootleg figures at this point, and we will continue to. I've got the brown suited Wolverine bootleg pre-ordered at the moment, and I really cannot wait for that. Hopefully it comes out in the next month or so, and we'll take a closer look at it here on the channel. So until next time guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, I'll catch yous on the flip-flop later. Cheers.